The long-awaited Mayor Paul is finally here.
In my last video, I made quite a bit of coins with Aatrox.
And now, even though he is gone, there is a new mayor, one that may end up being even better than him. However, just to let you guys know, my birthday is in 5 months at the end of the year, and I'd really like to hit 5,000 subscribers before then. So if you're watching this, please consider subscribing and getting me one step closer.
So now I know what you're thinking. I'm going to go do it and drop a Necron handle, and I'm going to sell it on an auction house and make a bajillion coins. However, that couldn't be more untrue. First of all, I wasn't really a Dungeons player. While I had decent gear of a good Hyperion, my Catacombs level and my experience were both. Anyways, like I said, I couldn't really go into dungeons because I wasn't going to be making a lot. Also, I like touching something called grass, which if you are a dungeon sweat, you probably have no idea what I mean by grass, which exactly proves my point. The thing is, when Paul becomes mayor, people believe their gear will drop in price, and it actually drops much lower than it actually does, allowing me to make a lot of coins from the panic selling. Okay, one item would be the recombobulated 1-for-all 5-star Livid Dagger. In all these specific combinations, yet also the most popular. As soon as I went over though, I bought 2 Livid Daggers, one for 12 million coins and one for 13.5 million coins. Another popular item is the Wedded Vow of Truth. I bought 2 of these for 10 million coins each. I was able to get all of these items sold. It only took me about 5 minutes to buy all of them off the auction house as soon as Paul was mayor. And I was able to sell them for about 10 million coins profit. Not too much, but I was off to a good start. If you watch my previous videos, you know I am quite an avid pet crafter. So today we're going to be seeing which pets we can take advantage of during Paul and make the most profit. The first pet was the Weather Skeleton. Now it isn't as good as the second craft I'm about to do, which is absolutely insane right now, but I still thought it was a pretty good idea to take advantage of this because of the fact that demand was so much higher because of Paul, as people wanted the Weather Skeleton pet for the 4-7 boss fights. Surprisingly though, prices weren't even higher for the legendary versions of this pet. The upside, however, is that epics were about double the price they were when Paul wasn't mayor, so I would be able to make a lot more coins just by losing less when crafting an epic. Also, demand was higher, so I would be able to get these pets sold faster. First, I took out my full Legion 5 with known superior dragon armor, then held out my Chimera 2 Daedalus Axe, which I paid 300 million coins for yesterday solely for pet luck. Used my Minos Relic Black Cat, the pet item plus the cat itself, granting me an extra 20 pet luck. Activated my tier 5 beacon, which gave me 5 pet luck as a profile stat, and to top it all off, ate a streamer sensory cake, which I should really get one on my own island as soon as year 300 hits, and they all drop in price by a ton. So then I went to lobby 1, holding my Daedalus Axe out to duplicate the Black Cat's stats with my Chimera 2 and the basic ability of the Daedalus Axe, the Legion enchantment granting me bonuses for everybody around. And with all of that, I had 171 pet luck, which was quite insane. Now, I needed to get crafting. As long as I didn't get as much epics as the amount of Blaze Rods Dream got in his speed runs, I was going to make a lot of profit. I didn't want to wait for a buy order to fill, so I was just going to be buying enchanted code blocks instantly. So I crafted a bunch of Weather Skeletons, and unfortunately I didn't get too lucky. For every 3 crafts, I only got 1 legendary. When I was supposed to have about a 41% chance of crafting a legendary, I only had a 33% chance. So for now, I decided to craft 24 Weather Skeletons and save the most for the next pet, which I would make a lot more coins on. I got 8 legendaries, each profiting me 2.8 million coins from the 1.2 million coin craft cost and the sale price of 4 million coins, of course, and 16 epics, each making me lose 800,000 coins from the craft. So in total, I made 9.6 million coins net in about 1 minute of crafting, 40% more money than I had spent crafting those pets. Still, I needed to get these pets sold, so this is in no way a 300 million coin hour money making method in any way, as there's also not infinite demand, but I was surprised I was able to make so much coins, even with considerably bad luck. So the second pet, which you may have already guessed by now, is the sheep pet. This is because it is basically the only mage pet you can use in dungeons before you get a golden dragon or ender dragon, so it was in pretty high demand. I was actually really happy about this since I actually had quite a bit of sheep pets that I haven't even been able to sell since Diana was mayor, and I crafted a ton of pets. And just that alone was able to allow me to sell my sheep pets for about 5 million coins more than what I would have been able to sell it. So for this pet, let's first calculate how much you could expect to make. Typically, a sheep costs about 4.2 million coins to craft. It's a 2.2 million coin loss for crafting an epic sheep, but since demand was so high, legendary ones were about 10 million coins on the auction house to buy one. So if I crafted an epic, I would lose 2 million coins because I can only sell it for 2 million coins. But I would make almost 6 million coins for crafting a legendary one. These pets were highly up in price from before Paul, with both variants going for much more coins. If I just got average luck, I would get a lot of money. If I got bad luck, I would still make money. And if I got good luck, I would make a ton of money. When I started trying to apply this to practical uses, however, I began having some trouble. First of all, thanks to slime minions, supply for enchanted mutton wasn't really high because everybody was just using slime minions instead of sheep minions like they used to. When I had went over the prices, each one sat at about 6k per on buy instantly. And my buy order for 5.3k per mutton was not filling. If I used buy order, I would only have to pay 3.2 million coins craft cost, which would bring my profits to 7 million coins, my loss to a little more than 1 million coins, which would literally be bank. So I didn't need trick to try to drive the prices down. I put a single enchanted mutton as an order for a price that was lower than the lowest buy order price by a lot, waited for someone else to undercut my order with a greater quantity, then did the same thing again, undercutting it again to effectively drive the prices down. However, there ended up being quite a bit of demand because I think I wasn't the only one who knew sheep pets were pretty good crafts. I was able to get the mutton down to 5.6k each until someone instantly bought every single mutton back up to 6.3k. I was back on square one. I tried waiting for prices to go down, but it only got worse. Not only that, the market was literally dying. The entire mutton market was down to about 1,000 total enchanted mutton in it, barely enough to craft a single sheep. If I had spent all of my net worth buying raw enchanted mutton earlier, I would have made about 130% of that back by just selling it now. Guess I definitely know what my next investment would be before next fall. Honestly, I was too greedy earlier, and I should have just bought instantly at 6.3k. At one point, there were 0 enchanted muttons in the market, allowing people to put it for at whatever price they wanted. On day 2, my luck was so much better in so many different more ways. Enchanted mutton prices were finally back down to the 6k range. I decided to buy instantly and just crafted my sheeps for about 4.2 million coins each. I first crafted about 70 million coins worth of sheeps, or 17 of them, and I got super lucky. 9 of them were legendary, which was better than average luck, where I would expect to get about 40% legendaries. Prices had also changed a little bit, making more profit per legendary but losing more for every epic. After doing all the math, I made a whooping 36.2 million coins in about 2 minutes of crafting time. Now obviously, like the previous one, I still had to get it sold. I'm not making a billion coins an hour, but the effort to the profit ratio is just so insanely high. I cannot believe this was actually this good. As I had just made so much coins, I decided to go for another 2 batches of sheep. The first of the 2 batches made me a solid 20 million coins of average luck and 2 minutes of crafting. They all sold pretty quickly, with half of them selling in about 10 minutes because of the insane demand. However, the second batch did cause me some problems. I crafted over 24 sheep pets, which was double of how much I crafted in the first batch, and I got way too many epics. The first 10 sheep pets I had crafted were all epic. Just so you know, the chances of that happening is 0.6% with my pet luck of getting 10 epics in a row. And at that point, after I got all the epics, I was at negative 22 million coins. Had I not gotten 5 legendaries in a row, which has a 1% chance of happening, I would have just lost big time. Still, because of how insanely profitable this was, I was able to make 3 million coins profit, but that was much less than my expected profit of 27 million coins with a calculated average profit of about 1.1 million coins per sheep. I don't have time to go over how every single batch did, but basically every time an entire batch of sheep sold, which they actually sold pretty quick because demand was so high, I would create a new batch of sheep. But after 2 days of pure sheep crafting, about 60 minutes of total effort, because all you really have to do is craft the pet, put it on the auction house, and don't worry about it anymore, I made about 250 million coins profit. Now just to clarify, I am not saying I'm making 250 million coins an hour. I realize that everything needs time to sell, I only have so much auction slots, but I'm saying that like in 60 minutes of effort, I made that much coins, and this 60 minutes of effort was split over 2 days. Now for the final thing that I was going to do, which is also probably the most profitable thing I was going to do, well, the most profitable thing I would have done. You see, in the past 2 days, I bought a Chimera to the Daedalus Axe for 300 million coins to craft pets better, spent about 250 million coins on talismans, 200 million coins on random essence shop perks and a museum to increase my skyblock level, gave back a 20 million coin item I times for 5,000 coins, invested a bunch of coins in Derpy, and had way too much money stored in pets that I haven't sold yet. My purse was frustratingly low. And to do what I'm about to do, you need about 400 million coins to do. Obviously, I didn't have that much coins on me just because of how much stuff I need to sell, how much stuff I just bought, and I wasn't gonna like ask for contraband or something. Like anybody would give me that anyways. So basically, I didn't have enough liquidated money, even though my net worth is like 20 times as much of what I usually do during investing in scrolls. Basically, scroll prices would have consistent low points whenever Paul is mayor, and sometimes they're able to shoot as high as 450 million coins. So usually, when I have enough coins to do it, I would take advantage of this, buy when Paul is mayor, and find a high point to sell it at. One time I made 70 million coins profit with technically a few seconds of effort. Obviously, it took a few days to sell, but still. Additionally, it is important to note that if you're watching this video and you decide to try some of this for yourself, then I recommend going for the cheapest scroll you can get on BuyOrder. The scrolls don't have any comparative differences as they all have the same drop chances, so don't just go for like a specific scroll, just go for the cheapest one. So this is how I made hundreds of millions of coins from Paul being mayor. Now, if you're wondering where all of the coins I made in this video are going, well, I'm going to be running hypermaxed fishing minions during Derpy, because my fishing level is absolutely trash right now, as I've almost never fished before. Just the hypercatalysis alone will cost almost 150 million coins. I'll be making a video on how much levels I get from it, so stay tuned.